February 11th, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help and the stigma. On the news this morning, Supreme Court reserves judgment in appeals on Rivers political crisis. Rivers State government lawyers react to Supreme Court ruling on 2024 budget. Council chairman places bounty on gang after deadly clash in Rivers State. Police deny plan to reintroduce SARS. On the foreign scene, Hamas holds captive release as U.S. President Donald Trump calls for ceasefire deal cancellation. Details of these and more after this break. Moyle with the news. Now, the Supreme Court has reserved judgment in the 4 separate appeals on the lingering political crisis in Rivers State. Justice Owani Abaji, who led a 5-member panel of justices of the Apex Court on Monday, reserved judgment to a date that would be communicated to parties. This is after taking argument from lawyers involved in the matters. The 4 appeals are the Rivers House of Assembly and other against the Rivers government and 9 others. The second case is between the Rivers House of Assembly and others against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and 9 others. The third case is between the Rivers House of Assembly and others against the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission and 9 others. The fourth matter is between the Rivers State House of Assembly and others against the Accountant General of Rivers and 9 others. The cases are in respect of some judgment delivered by the Federal High Court in Abuja, which prohibited the release of a monthly fund to Rivers State from the Federation account, and another that barred INEC from releasing the voter register to the state government for the purpose of conducting local government elections, among others. Meanwhile, the Chief of Staff, Rivers State Government House, Port Harcourt, Edison Ehie, says the case challenging the leadership of the Rivers State House of Assembly and the members who defected in December 2023 is still before the Supreme Court. Mr. Ehie made the clarification on Monday, hours after the Supreme Court dismissed the appeal filed by Governor Siminalayi Fubara against the judgment that voided the presentation and passage of the 2024 Rivers State budget. Mr. Ehie explained that since the 2024 budget has been spent, Governor Fubara thought to withdraw his appeal against the judgment because it will be a mere academic exercise to dwell on the matter. In the same vein, the Rivers State Commissioner for Information, Joe Johnson, said the Supreme Court ruled on the appeal concerning the 2024 budget because the budget cycle had ended. In an interview, Mr. Johnson said the appeal, which he said Governor Fubara voluntarily withdrew, was no longer relevant as the 2024 budget had been fully expanded by December 31st, 2024. Now, he emphasized that there is no Supreme Court judgment against Governor Fubara and urged the people of Rivers State to disregard what he described as outdated political propaganda from desperate politicians.
As explicitly stated in the notice, aligns with the extant provisions of Order 11, Rule 14 of the Supreme Court rules, and therefore an acknowledgement of the fact that pursuing this matter is no longer necessary due to the changed circumstances, not because of any acquiescence of defeat whatsoever. There was no discussion as to who is the authentic speaker. There was nothing on that.
Meanwhile, the Martin Amaewhule-led Rivers State House of Assembly says their confidence in the judiciary is being strengthened following Monday's Supreme Court ruling. Addressing a press conference, Mr. Amaewhule called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to conduct by-elections for vacant seats in the Assembly. In the meantime, some lawyers are now speaking on the implications of Governor Siminalayi Fubara's decision to withdraw his case concerning the judgment that required him to represent the 2024 appropriation bill. Port Harcourt-based lawyer Achinike Williams-Wobodo tells our correspondent that the governor's decision indicates his acceptance of the rulings by Justice Omotosho and the Court of Appeal and the legitimacy of the Martin Amihule-led House of Assembly.
The reason for going to Court of Appeal and to Supreme Court is to set aside a declaration made, the order nullifying the budget which he was governing the River State with. If he withdraws his appeal, it means that he is saying that the subsisting judgment is the Court of Appeal judgment. And it means that he has committed a constitutional breach. It means that throughout 2024, he governed River State without appropriation. If he pleads immunity, all the commissioners and permanent secretaries who do not have immunity, who spend state money without appropriation, have all committed criminal offense.
Mr. Williams-Wobodo said the case before the Supreme Court is a constitutional matter and could not merely be dismissed as an academic exercise.
There's no aspect of the interpretation of Constitution that is academic. The authorities are clearly there by Supreme Court. You cannot say the interpretation of a constitutional provision has become academic. No, particularly when this is a novel issue, whether a governor can spend money without appropriation. He will say, well, that the normal practice is that when you withdraw an appeal before the Supreme Court will naturally dismiss it. But if the Supreme Court has dismissed it, it means that the Supreme Court has also foreclosed his right of raising the issue again. So he has to accept the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which is subsisting.
Similarly, a constitutional lawyer, Felix Birabara, says the Supreme Court's dismissal of the appeal brought by Governor Fubara has affirmed that Martin Amihule and 24 others are still members of the State Assembly. Speaking with correspondent Onyeka Chimusu, Dr. Birabara said the Apex Court's decision also affirms that the state governor ought to have presented the 2024 budget to them.
The judgment of the Court of Appeal stands, and that judgment will affirm the judgment of Omotosho. What does the judgment of the Court of Appeal say? Number one, that Martin Amihule and his colleagues who defected with him are the authentic speaker and relevant leaders of the River State House Assembly, and that being the case, they are the ones that Governor Fubara ought to have presented the 2024 budget of River State House Assembly to. Two, that the governor of River State, Fubara, should not interfere in the legislative activities of Martin Amihule and his colleagues. Three, that all payments due to Amihule and his colleagues should be paid to them.
Dr. Birabara said he expects the Martin Amihule-led Assembly to institute a fresh case against the passage of the 2025 budget.
We are now dealing with 2025 budget. So that might mean that on the basis of that judgment, they might want to bring a fresh case, a fresh suit to now challenge the competence of a House Assembly not presided over by Martin Amihule to approve the 2025 budget. I think that would be the one that can be a live issue for any court to determine and maybe to enforce.
But another lawyer, Laborers Oshoma, thinks otherwise.
I do not think that is an acceptance. I am seeing this as a fallout of the meeting that the Ogoni leaders with the governor and Wike had with Mr. President in January. I told you that that meeting, even though people saw it as a courtesy call, I told you then that I see it as a move towards resolution of the matter. The fact that when the vote came out, what was discussed with Mr. President was not in the public domain. Also, I think giving credence to this step to actually resolve. So it is a good development.
Mr. Oshoma called on the other party in the suit to also show signs of readiness to resolve the political crisis because the governor has started another peace process.
I hope that the other part will also show good faith this way and then also learn to give up some of their strong demands. And I commend the governor taking the first step at resolving. I just believe that with a few days ahead, we'll also see, the other parties take similar steps at ensuring that all parties shoot their sword. It is a way of resolving all the crisis. I had told you the court ordinarily, will not resolve the matters in Rivers. It is the parties that sit back and say, let us put all of this behind us.
Human rights activist Femi Falana says the Martin Amehule-led River State House of Assembly may never be reinstated. The lawyer insists that the lawmakers remain sacked, stressing that once a lawmaker decamps, they automatically lose their seat. Still to come, council chairman places bounty on gang after deadly clash in Obele community, River State. Stay with us. Back and now the rest of the news. Following a gang clash in Obele community, a Moha local government area that claimed several lives, the council chairman, David Omereji, has announced a bounty to aid security effort. Mr. Omereji, in an interview with correspondent Mekotoka, placed a 10 million naira reward for anyone with credible information leading to the arrest of those responsible, and 20 million naira reward for any security agency that will arrest the hoodlums. Now, he condemned the killings and vowed that the perpetrators would be brought to justice.
I stand before the good people of Obele community with heavy heart over the incident that took the lives of their families and beloved ones. We acknowledge their case and we are standing by them to ensure that this madness is put to stop. Let me be clear, and it is time for us to say enough is enough. So any person who may have useful information that will lead to the arrest of these hoodlums or criminals, the council is going to pay 10 million naira, and the council equally has placed a bounty of 20 million naira to the security department.
Moving on now, Chairman of Asari Toro Local Government Area in Rivers State, Sule Makri, has reaffirmed his commitment to education, describing it as the key to success. A statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Gabriel Prince-Will, said that Council Chairman said this while addressing candidates for the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME, whom he invited to receive free JAM forms courtesy of his administration.
Go there, ensure that you make good use of the opportunity that is provided, because JAM is something that if you pay attention, you know how to use the computer. It's a computer-based exam. If you know what to do based on what you are taught at the free summer classes, you'll be able to score very high and come out with, a successful result that will take you to another level of education in your life. When you get to that point, we will now look at how we will create a scholarship scheme.
Now, expressing gratitude, a parent of one of the beneficiaries, Alaye Eferebo, commended the Asaga Council Chairman for his commitment to education, praying for the success of his administration.
I thank God for this government because they've made my daughter to have a free JAM form. I think if we'll be having a government like this, the local government will have gone very far. I appreciate the government and will say that Engineer Sule Makri PhD, we pray for him for more progress. He's an educationist and he wants the youth, because the youth are the future of tomorrow. So he decided to have a project like this. And we say, and the family will say, may God bless him.
Speaking on behalf of the beneficiaries, Benebo Emmanuel thanked the chairman for the free JAM forms.
On behalf of my co-beneficiaries of the free UTME forms, we want to say a very big thank you to the Executive Chairman, Asari Toro Local Government Area, in the person of Engineer Sule Makri, PhD. God bless you, sir. He has also promised that he would give scholarship to the best persons in the exams. Thank you, sir. God bless you and bless your administration.
Thank you, sir. We love you, sir.
Away from that, the Uche Ken Foundation says it distributed provisions, toiletries, and cash gifts to patients in 3 hospitals across Rivers State over the weekend. Speaking in an interview, the founder, Uche Ken Nduku, said the visit to Okomoko General Hospital, Gracious Life Hospital in Chokocho, Eche, and Christened Clinic in Port Harcourt was part of the ways to commemorate her birthday and give back to society.
I and my team decided to visit some of the patients in some hospitals in Rivers State to pray with them and also assist them with some items and little financial assistance. This is Uche Ken Foundation, established since 2019 when I was the council vice chairman. This foundation have trained people like computer studies, fashion designing, photo and video editing, hairdressing, indoor and outdoor catering services, bead making, event planning. This foundation has transformed, trained and empowered youth and women in meaningful skills to earn their living.
Mrs. Ken Nduku, however, also dismissed claims that she failed to attract development projects to Eche during her tenure.
Here is Omoba in Ogida community in Eche local government. This project is the only project. This project is called Market. Situated in Omoba community, it was attracted by Uche Ken. It was awarded by then council chairman of Eche local government, Dr. Obin Nanyango, and was commissioned by him. Today, this is the only project you can see here. For past 20 years ago, this community was the community that produced the former vice chancellor of Ignatius Ajuru University.
She also urged the state government to urgently intervene and equip Okomoko General Hospital in Iche, which suffers from a severe lack of facilities. Now, elsewhere, the Coalition of Civil Society Organizations CSOs in River State has extended its gratitude to Governor Fubara for what they called his visionary leadership and commitment to economic empowerment through the River State Microfinance Agency, RIMA. This is contained in a statement signed by the chairman Concerned Citizens for Good Governance, Nasibwa Peterside, Secretary General Coalition of Rights, Ayanate West, and Chairman, National Rescue Mission, Rivers Chapter, Dabasisi Oyibo. The statement said the Touching Lives and Creating Wealth Loan Scheme has significantly impacted small and medium-sized enterprises, farmers and traders, fostering economic growth and job creation across the state. It also commended beneficiaries who have repaid their loans. It said their prompt repayment have allowed RIMA to recycle funds, enabling more entrepreneurs to benefit from the opportunity. The statement, however, appealed to those yet to repay their loans to do so. The statement further acknowledged RIMA under the leadership of Jonathan Tobin in managing the scheme efficiently. And now, Polaris Bank, in conjunction with its long-standing partner, Everyday Group, has launched the newly constructed Everyday Supermarket along Odili Road in Port Harcourt, River State. The managing director and chief executive officer of Polaris Bank, Kayode Lawal, during the official unveiling of the Everyday Group shopping complex, said the bank takes pride in being the financial partner of choice for businesses that drive growth, create jobs, and foster economic development. He was represented by the Directorate Head, Southeast South Business, Raphael Abieziem, at the event.
So Everyday Group hired 700 staff. Every time we open a new store like this, we're hiring another 65 to...
We're here to celebrate the milestone achievement for Everyday Supermarket, and our partners celebrate this success, this milestone. We major partner funding a lot of their projects. It's been mutually beneficial to both parties every day. There are other supermarkets, of course. You see that there's what we call cost pool employment. Now, there's an African store there where there's going to be, aside from the direct employment of staff for every day, there's going to be indirect employment for those that are supplying African foods, African products, African fruits. So basically, we're selling Nigerian products to Nigerians. It helps reduce the importation drive, and it's a way of helping the government preserve foreign exchange as well.
On the spot, the chairman of Everyday Group, Dr. Yemi Osindero, told correspondent Yobioro Ware the new changes that came with the model shopping complex and the economic benefit to Nigerians due to the varieties of African foodstuff.
So Everyday Group hired 700 staff. Every time we open a new store like this, we're hiring another 65 to 70. When you look at the type of items that we're selling, not just the fruit and veg, but also the packaged African foods, we're going direct to farmers, signing up agreements with them to be supplying items to the store. So it is impacting and changing hundreds of lives across Nigeria. And we love this location. It's so modern, it's fresh, it's very well located. We have a great clientele around here. This is the most modern supermarket that we have. It's bigger. It has all the categories that customers would like.
Our correspondent reports that the commissioning of the newly constructed Everyday Shopping Complex attracted many customers that patronized the management due to the arrival of varieties of new products. In other news, the police have denied reports that they plan to reintroduce the disbanded Special Anti-Robbery Squad. In a statement on Monday, the Force Public Relations Officer Olumi Muyuwa Adejobi said the clarification became necessary following several reports on social media. The statement said the squad, which was disbanded on October 11, 2020, remains prescribed within the police. We're going another short commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the news. Palestinian militant group and political organization that governs the Gaza Strip, Hamas, has suspended the next release of captives held in Gaza indefinitely. The group is accusing Israel of violating the terms of the ceasefire deal, including by continuing to kill Palestinians and obstructing the delivery of humanitarian aid. Hamas is designated as a terrorist organization by several countries, including the United States, the European Union, Israel, Canada, and the United Kingdom. U.S. President Donald Trump says the Gaza ceasefire deal should be cancelled if all the Israeli captives are not released by Saturday. As a wrap of the news this morning, before we go, let's have a look at the major story. The Supreme Court has reserved judgment in appeals on Rivers' political crisis. Emoha Council chairman has placed bounty on gang after deadly clash in Obele. And on the foreign scene, Hamas has suspended captive release as U.S. President Donald Trump calls for ceasefire deal cancellation. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.
Please listen to this announcement. It has come to the notice of the Rivers State Internal Revenue Service that some unauthorized